Today, I'm going to show you what my Polish-American family made for Christmas Eve dinner this year and the process of us making it, because I would like to know just how Polish is our Polish-American Christmas Eve dinner. Keep in mind that my closest ancestor who actually lived in Poland and then moved to the US was my grandparents' grandparents. So these recipes and traditions have been passed down for over 100 years, and I'm convinced that they've evolved at least a little bit away from the traditional Polish Christmas traditions. Let's check it out. Please let me know how Polish all of this actually is. Now, of course, the main staple is the pierogi, which we made from scratch and which took the most amount of time, even though we only made one kind of filling, a sweet cheese filling. Here's the recipe. Here is the filling being mixed together. It's essentially just ricotta cheese mixed with an egg. Over here, we're making the dough, which consists of flour, egg, butter, cream cheese, and a little bit of milk at the end. I want to mention that we also bought some pre-made potato pierogi. I guess we just didn't have it in us to make all the pierogi ourselves. Honestly, it's more work than I realized. We then kneaded the dough together till it was smooth. I threw on my great grandmother's old cooking apron. Bit of a struggle to get it on, but I started rolling out some dough. I am particularly bad at it, though my poor competency at rolling the dough, I would say, has nothing to do with the Polishness of it all. I'm not saying it's gonna be pretty.
Oh, that's way too thick. That's way too thick.
I was promptly removed from dough rolling duties and replaced with my girlfriend Marielle. Here is the whipped sweet cheese filling. We started to cut some circles out of the dough, move them over so we could fill them up. Here is my dad, looking particularly Polish. Now, in my family, for what I think is a Polish tradition for Christmas dinner, we always do Jell-O. Layered Jell-O. Is it actually Polish? We don't know. We continued cutting circles out of the dough, moving them over to the parchment paper, filling them up with the sweet cheese filling. My mom then showed us how to close them up. She said that she uses water, our family uses water to kind of put around the edges here. Then you close it up, but that some people use butter, but our family has always used water, I guess. Then you take your fingers and you pat it down to form the famous pierogi. I got some little coming out of the side here. That's okay, it's made with love. Next up, it's time to cook the pierogi. I failed on my first attempt and nearly burned my hand. Now, you might notice that this water is not actually to a full boil. So the first batch of pierogi we made came out looking pale, soggy, kind of limp. So then we started actually boiling the water, threw them back in. Here, you have a good example of which ones were cooked correctly the first time and which ones kind of had to get rescued. Now, we do onions on the pierogi, so here I am throwing some butter in the pan. Onions in wooden spoon. Always cook with a wooden spoon. It doesn't have any toxins and it won't damage your pan. In English, we say the watch pot never boils, which means the longer you stare at your food, it's not going to cook any faster. I disagree. I always stare at my food as it cooks. All right, I have a feeling this might be a slightly controversial one. We put cinnamon sugar on our sweet cheese pierogi. We have always done this in our family. I don't think it's Polish, but we did it. All right, here's the onions done, nice and crispy. Is this actually how they're supposed to look? I don't know. Please let me know in the comments. Next up, we're making salmon patties. For protein on Christmas Eve dinner, my family only does fish. Okay, here's the ingredients. We've got breadcrumbs, onions, salmon, 2 eggs, some flour that you can't see. Crack the eggs into the bowl. Pour the salmon in. Pour the onions in. Mix it up real good. Pour in some like egg mixture so it all sticks together. Roll it up, form it into a patty. Throw it in the breadcrumbs, transfer it to the plate, and do that a bunch of times until you have a giant plate of salmon patties. Salmon patties get cooked in a pan with olive oil. Over here, obviously, we also have some pierogis cooking. These are the store-bought ones. Honestly, they were probably better than the ones we made. We also did tilapia, which we baked. Some of them were seasoned with this blackcurrant Dijon mustard. Some were seasoned with white pepper, garlic, rosemary, salt, and we threw it in the oven at some temperature and for some amount of time that I don't remember. We also always do a green bean casserole. Gotta be honest, not really my favorite part of the dinner. Also, not even sure if this is Polish at all. I mean, I guess there's fried onions going on top. Fried onions, that's Polish, right? Now, I understand that in Poland, it's primarily beer and vodka as far as alcohol choice goes. We chose wine for this dinner. Maybe wine is more common in Poland for Christmas Eve dinner. Or maybe it's just tried and true. Just stick to the beer and vodka. I don't really know. And here you have it, the final product, all of the food set out on the table, everyone passing the food around. This is my plate. You got the mashed potatoes, salmon patties, tilapia, 3 different types of pierogi with the onions on 2 of them there. This is that jello I was showing earlier. I know it doesn't look that good, but it does taste pretty good. Lastly, I wanted to mention we always do the breaking of the opłatki, which I'm fairly confident is an actual Polish tradition. Essentially, you have this wafer thing, you walk around the room, you break off someone else's bread, and you tell them what you wish for them in the new year. And there you have it. That is all of my Polish-American family's food that we eat on Christmas Eve dinner and the traditions that we do afterwards. Please let me know how actually Polish our Polish-American Christmas Eve dinner is. Thank you.